Hey, what's going on, guys? So today's video is going to be in the same vein as the Anitons Q&A videos we've done in the past, this time for Necromancer's Gift. Now, Necromancer's Gift is an upcoming monster taming game that involves you traversing various levels, sort of like depths in Serialum from what I gather. There's a lot that's going to go into this game. There's going to be permadeath, so it's going to be sort of in that vein with Kindred Fates. I know there's going to be about 6 types. It is pixel art. I've seen some of the pixel art. I've shown you guys some of it in Monster Tamer News. It looks really good in my opinion. I haven't read this Q&A yet, so I figured I'd go through it with you guys so we can learn more about the game, because I have a very basic understanding of what the game's going to be, and I feel like this will sort of help us. And as you can see right at the top here, the dev specifically mentions the Anitons Q&A, saying that he stole it. So shame on you, LDD. Anyway, we're gonna read through this and yeah, we're gonna learn a little bit. So first question, free to play, monetization, ads, no. So it's gonna be a normal game. You're gonna have to pay for it, which, I mean, I don't personally like free to play games because they usually end up creating some sort of monetization system that just ruins it. So I'm happy that it's you just pay and you get your game. I'd much rather that. How many starters? So there's going to be 3, 1 for each affinity. So affinities are, I'm guessing, like types. So water, fire, and wind. Now, I'm wondering if these will work in a cycle like they do in Pokemon. So I could see wind being good against... No, wind being bad against fire, because fire can grow when blown on. You know when you're trying to start a fire, you blow on. It's like that in Nexomon too. I guess wind could be good against water if they want to do it in a circle, because like wind can pick up water and create like a tsunami, for example. The next question here, and I'm assuming that these are questions straight from LDD, like just some ones that he put just as like basic questions to get them out of the way. I haven't seen anyone ask them. So anyway, the next question is, will some designs change before release? Probably a little bit, just to have smoother idle animations. What is Necromancer's Gift? The friends you made along the way. TM, not really. An actual item that you can use, and that's all I'll say for now. Okay, so Zelda games do that, where a lot of them will feature an item in the title. So you have like The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, The Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time, etc. I'm actually quite curious as to what you're going to do with the Necromancer's Gift. When did you start developing? About 6 months ago. A month ago. Seriously, the battle system is a little bit older than that. That's good to hear that he's been working on it for quite some time now. How will we tame creatures? Yes. Just joking. Ask me about it. Now's the time. Okay. Shinies. Yes, with a different name. Single player, multiplayer, co-op, MMO. Yes, single player. Yes, multiplayer. No co-op. No MMO. I'm fine with that. I don't really care much for co-op personally, and I don't think it needs to be an MMO. So I'm happy that there's single player and multiplayer. Will there be breeding? I honestly don't know, not for now, but maybe. Probably going to get specific moves from both parents. So breeding's always something that games don't necessarily really have to have. Like Pokemon and Temtem use it as a way to entice you to go for perfect stats and whatnot. But if they don't have EVs or IVs or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And that segues into the next question with, will there be IVs and EVs? No IVs, which I'm happy about. I originally said no EVs, but something similar should be available to help players customize their creature stats. My recommendation for something like that would be like the Monster Sanctuary system, where you can sort of build specific skills, but more notably the held items will boost certain stats. Nexomon has cores, which are pretty interesting too. Just anything seamless. Like I've always felt like the idea of having to just battle a bunch of monsters over and over and over again for a ridiculous amount of time just to have some level of customization was kind of off. They could have like I said, like skill points, or maybe like points that you can throw into different stats and you can move around whatever you want, something like that. Kickstarter, no. Will Ed appear in the game? Oh yeah, will Ed appear in the game? I already know this. Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna be in the game. Whether or not they'll make me someone useless, that's a meme. That's yet to be decided. Giant foreheads, yes, somehow. What game would you say are the main inspirations behind Necromancer's Gift? Pokemon Nuzlocke, Slay the Spire. I've never heard of Slay the Spire. Maybe something to look at after I'm done making this video. Budget, 5k USD all included besides my personal expenses. I have no I have no debt and have access to relatively large lines of credit at low interest that I could use if absolutely necessary here in Canada. Oh, you're from Canada too. I'm kind of curious as to which part. Okay, so these are probably the questions you had. Let's talk about the rules for this queue. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to just look at the I guess, you know what, he didn't quote for a lot of these questions. So we'll ask the question, or we'll read the question, and then we'll read the answer. The Anitons ones they usually quote, but it's not a big deal. Do you have anything that you can tell us about the story? That was asked by the sexy Mr. Cirque. Yes, it's a relatively simple story, the opposite of Kingdom Hearts if you want. The story is a series of monologues by the main character as they discover a weird world filled with creatures inside the lair, and by the Necromancer who gets to meet your dog, and since they are lonely, they start explaining how the old world worked to it. It obviously culminates in a battle with the Necromancer, but it's not about saving the world or a kingdom or anything like that, just you trying to rescue your dog. Interesting. Cirque asked, so let's get down to business. How will we obtain Mons? Obtaining Mons is easy, you can just catch them with a capturing box. There are a few different capturing boxes, most of them use affinities types as conditions, so that makes sense, that's like Nexomon. The interesting bit is that capturing boxes are rare and can be exchanged for a variety of other items. Oh, okay. The max party number is 5, but it can be less than that. It's customizable before your game starts. Bisloba, aka Marina, aka the person that made my avatar, the really good avatar. What happens if all your creatures in your party die? Your run ends, you get a little bit of story, and then a game over. Nice. How do you come up with the element system, like instead of using the usual fire, grass, water? The 6 affinities types will fit the story in a more natural way. It'll be explained by the Necromancer to the dog, but the gist of it is that I needed something more based on ancient legends and mythology, and grass didn't fit that theme. That makes sense. Like a lot of games, or maybe even not necessarily games, but a lot of media that I've seen, like for example Avatar, right? There is no grass element. It's just there's earth and then there's water. There's not really like plant elements. Like there were benders in Avatar that used that would bend like vines, but they were actually bending the water within the vines. Like plants aren't necessarily an element of their own. They're part of the earth element, I guess. What breed is the protagonist dog? A mutt. Will you be able to choose a protagonist gender or customize them? Yep, for sure. On the other hand, for marketing related stuff and so on and so forth, there'll be a relatively old white guy with a gray beard. I have budgeted exactly for one other protagonist, a relatively old lady with gray hair, but as many people ask for it, I'll try to fit as many choices as I can. In terms of hats, accessories, etc., I just haven't decided yet. Hopefully there's a bit of budget left for that. I sure hope so, at least. Same applies to the dog. It depends on how much leftover budget I have. Oh, see, Marina's getting down to business here. Would you let Gym Leader Ed stream or just make walkthrough videos of himself playing Necromancer's Gift? Oh, for sure. Any day, anytime, it's any day, every day, anytime. So can Bloba. Shout out to you, Bloba. I will put no weird restrictions for content creators or make copyright claims, etc. That's always good to hear. Like, I don't really expect that with indie devs, but a lot of larger developers, especially with Nintendo, tend to try to pull crap like that. I heard it's not as bad recently as it used to be, but you know. How is it to develop a game as 25? Tiresome, but our AI friends help a lot. What do you mean? Are you talking about his age? He's 25? I'm older than you. That means I'm better. Is that what he's talking about anyway? I'm not sure. Will there be gym equivalent, aka mini boss fights? I already know the answer to that. Will there be rare monsters that will be considered rare as shinies to spice things up? Will there be a day-night cycle? I don't think so, just because the fact that the game's gonna be inside. What's a max level? Oh geez, Rebel Shade's getting into it, eh? In the future, will there be new content in forms of either updates or DLC? I'm totally cool with DLC. Like I've always said that DLC I always think is actually great. I love DLC as long as it's not something that should have been in the main game. What's the estimated game time to reach Endgame when played normally? Will there be player titles, e.g. Titles that are granted players who reach Endgame and survive another, this much time? Aside from ranked, are there plans for official tournaments? Will there be an equivalent to Pokemon abilities in this game? Do you plan on creating more monsters, or is the final count sticking to 100 plus? Whoa. Yes, floor leaders. Shinies are confirmed. No day-night cycle, but that sounds perfect for the first expansion. Level 100, but there is a way to go over the cap. Doesn't apply in multiplayer. Okay, that's cool. I actually like that. Yes, indeed. Yes, instead of DLC, sizable expansions like StarCraft, Broad War, player titles. I'll think about it. Not for now. That sounds like a reasonable thing to have. Yes, official tournaments, unranked, and random battles against others are confirmed. Yes to abilities, not fully implemented yet, to be honest. I seriously doubt my budget would let me add more creatures, but I'm not opposed to it. I mean, hey man, if you want to go the Kickstarter route, I'll cover the Kickstarter. This game, a lot of the new games that I showcased got me hyped, like Minecraft, Sly Seeker, whatnot. This is one of the games that really caught my attention, especially the artwork. The Necromancer that you see in LDD's profile. I love it. Are all the creatures for the game planned, or are there some concepts yet to be designed? I have a very important question. Will you have a mother? Maybe. Well, you're an old man, so you're not gonna have a mother. She's gonna be dead. Maybe. Short Kickstarter for more creatures, animations, and character customization? I'll think about it. I'll cover it. And Baguette Bug. Answering that question reveals a minor spoiler. Ooh, interesting. Will you be able to choose one creature in your party to be your buddy and be able to mount, fly, and swim with it? Incredibly important, please read this. No, or more precisely, there is no overworld big map since you won't be able to mount, fly, or swim anywhere. And that's a big decision that cannot be changed due to budget concerns. I do think this needs clarification as it is. The budget for the game is much, much smaller than in similar games. I think I'll try to price it a bit lower than what I'd estimated, but it is very, very, very important to me to have a small scope in order not to go over budget. You'd be shocked at the amount of debt the devs of some very popular games in the genre have, and for good reasons. Incredibly important, please read this. Yeah, and you know what? Like that's not a big deal not having a big overworld. Like, Cirillum doesn't have an overworld at all. Cirillum's literally just depths, and they're randomly generated. So, if done well, it's not even an issue. Yeah, like, it's not really an issue if the game does it well. Like, Cirillum does it just fine, and it doesn't need an overworld. So, I guess it's going to be more of a dungeon crawler, which is cool. In Pokemon Rare, different colored creatures are called shinies. In Pokemon, anyway, different colored creatures are called shinies, and Kindred Fates are called phantoms, and Nexomon cosmic. How would you name your shinies? Not good with names. Maybe another contest. My idea was to call them Intis, sun in. I'm not going to try to pronounce that language. You said, this is from Bisloba. You said Slay the Spire was one of the games that inspired you. Can you go into more detail of what exactly inspired you? And then Marlon, are you going to make a public beta? And if not, is there a way to join the private beta? Yes to private beta, yes to public. If you have weekly notifications or daily notifications on, there's no way for you to miss a sign-up period. Will you be able to choose one creature in your party to be your buddy? And okay, we talked about that. Not all creatures are planned. In fact, a lot of them are missing, and tons of concepts are still missing. Okay, answering Bloba's question about Slay the Spire, let me take a little bit of time to answer. Will the creatures be evenly distributed for each type, or there will be certain creature elements that are harder to find or get? In terms of types, there will be some slight differences, but nothing like Pokemon where dual types are incredibly rare. Okay, so this is where we're talking about the Slay the Spire stuff. So synergies, the feeling I get from making combinations, is something I want to replicate. Nothing should be OP in isolation. Creatures should complement one another. Using statistical analysis as much as possible and not trying to make the game perfectly balanced from the absolute beginning. The map progression is basically the same as Slay the Spire to reduce costs, and because I really, really, really like it. It's simple, gets to the point, and doesn't overstay its welcome. The player should be able to make different types of teams and feel free to experiment quite a bit. I've also wanted to make a Pokemon-like, but I also had no idea how to fit it into a small budget. Playing Slay the Spire allowed me to distill parts of Pokemon that I love the most and make sure that I can create something potentially new that wouldn't take a big team to make. Again, with the whole overworld thing, like, again, if it's like realms like Cirillum, I don't think it's going to be an issue, to be honest. Like you said, it's right to the point. You're gonna have like these leader fights and stuff too. I think it's gonna be really fun, personally. You said the map progression is basically the same as Slay the Spire. Does that mean the game will have some roguelike elements to it as well? Oh wow, I'm a big dummy, yes, for sure. More like roguelite than roguelike, because some people are very, very defensive of the term roguelike, but then again, this sort of applies to creature catching games of Pokemon. Oh well. Yeah, there's going to be permadeath. Will there be snails in any way, shape, or form? What engine are you using? Snails are confirmed. There you go, Cirque. Engine, nw.js TypeScript codebase for the application, Steam overlay integration, backend. Yeah, I don't know any of that stuff. You guys can look that up. Oh, Saigon, what's up, dude? Will players feel inclined to keep playing this game after the story ends? Replayability content. After Endgame, you need to remake as a new game file. Will you ever do a Kickstarter or something similar? There was a question earlier this week, but in ranked matches, your creatures die. So for ranked online PvP, you need to play the game again. In ranked matches, your creatures actually die. That's interesting. I'm not going to play freaking ranked matches. I'm going to get my ass kicked. The game has 2 endings. The first one is going to be fairly easy to get, but the second one, a dog ending, will take many attempts. That's cool. So basically this game is supposed to be highly replayable. Even after getting the proper ending, you should want to play to get different team compositions. Answered above. Yeah, weird. Short answer is the game has a tiny budget of my savings. Again, Marlon. Will you yourself, 25 hamster, appear as a secret boss on a scale from 0 to 10? How sexy are Cirque? Cirque, Bisloba, Bloba. And I'm sorry that this question, but I couldn't. I'm sorry about this question, but I couldn't help myself. How much could we, the people in Discord, affect the game? Will there be some sort of ways to financially support you besides Patreon? How close are you to a demo? And will there be a special way to capture the Mons? Where will the game be published? And what's your favorite pizza topping? It's so random. Will players feel inclined to keep playing? Okay, so we talked about that. Final note, post-game content, if you don't want to do online PvP, is possible, but not the focus for now. Something tells me people will really, really want this, so I am leaving this as a note to seriously consider it. Was not planned, but 25 hamsters as the secret boss. We give 25 hamsters as the secret boss confirmed. You are affected and will affect the game a lot, not only in terms of naming, but also in terms of secret bosses. Oh, I also wanted to add pizza and pizza toppings to the game too. I think we can find ways for people to support this game, things that benefit everyone, like donations to include fruits or wacky items or things in the game. The game will be published on Steam, later on iOS, GOG, or other places are possible as long as at least a handful of people tell me they need it there. It would, however, be possible that some features are not included in those stores. How close to a demo? I'll make an update as close, but not as close as I want. As a compromise, I think a battle alpha could come very soon. That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind a battle alpha to start out. I'll put an update in weekly updates as soon enough. I'll have to, I'm assuming there's some sort of role you can get to get pinged for that, so I'm going to have to sign up for that. Also soon TM, a special way to capture the Mons, answered above, but I think less in terms of capturing as hard and more in terms of having to do certain things in the game to increase your chances of certain creatures appearing in the first place. I'm open to wacky ideas though. Something like carrying a monster equipped with pizza and pineapples, making it impossible to capture ice affinity creatures, etc. What's your favorite pizza topping? Answered elsewhere, but sausages and spinach. On sexiness, we are 25 hamsters, so we can only comment on the sexiness of other hamsters, but you look like great humans, so 10 out of 10 for all of what is happening. Are there going to be creatures that are dual types? Confirmed elsewhere, but 100% yes, they're already in the game. Will there be any sort of legendaries? 25 hamsters is not legendary enough for you? Probably yes, but warning, no art design exists for them, so I can't be 100% sure. Wait, I take that back. Yes, at least 2 legendary creatures are confirmed. Ooh. We got Horsey and Flying Lilo and Stitch. Oh, we're almost at the end already. What do you feel will stand out the most or be the most unique in this game about this game when compared to other Monster Tamer games? Also, what's your favorite mon? The story, art direction, gameplay, and overall themes of this game combined should be unique. More personally, however, my answer is that uniqueness is not the type of thing that one can artificially make or plan for. It organically arises sometimes. That's actually true, because if you try so hard to avert expectations, you end up making something that people don't want. So I think just working on what he wants to work on, and you know, just letting it speak for itself is a big part. For example, there are games in the Monster Tamer genre that are very similar to Pokemon, like Temtem, for example. It's very, very, very similar. But, you know, it does its own things and it makes people want to play it. It doesn't necessarily have to be unique for the sake of being unique. Coromon is a little, it's less similar, but it's also pretty similar to Pokemon. You know, but it has its potent and perfect system. It has, again, related to it is the potentials, like the lack of IVs because there's a potential stat instead. It has a Titans instead of gyms. They do things to make it unique, but they don't go out of their way to make it so different just for the sake of making it different. So definitely, like, I wouldn't worry too much about something like that. Like, people are going to make comparisons. Like, I've made comparisons to the depths from Cirillum, for example. So people are always going to compare. It just matters if your game's good or not, honestly. My favorite Mon is yet to be revealed, but my favorite so far is the final evolution of the snake shown today, mostly because it's a creature I use and for the most testing and stuff. And that's the end of the Q&A. So, excuse me. Yeah, that was quite a bit of information we got about the game. I'm actually very happy with what we got, because there was a lot of things that I wasn't too sure about with the game, like regarding how exactly the depths and stuff are going to work. So I do want to see more information in the future. But yeah, he did a pretty good job of answering all the questions. I'm looking forward to the next Q&A as well. And that battle demo, that'll be really interesting to get to see how the battle system works, whether there'll be... I wish I was here for the thing, because I would have asked about like a potential stamina system, or you know, I don't remember if anybody asked for held items. They might have. I might have just forgot. But I would have asked more stuff regarding battling itself. But I think this is going to be pretty cool. I think they're going to take the dungeon crawling aspects from Cirillum and sort of mix it with the more story-driven moments from games like Monster Crown and Coromon. So I really am looking forward to how this game turns out. But yeah, guys, definitely check out Necromancer's Gift on Twitter and in their Discord. I'll leave both links in the description. And if you did enjoy the video, as usual, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd. Check out our subscriber Discord, all links in the description. I apologize for my stuttering throughout this video. It was unscripted, don't kill me, and until next time, peace.